The New Orleans Saints, Andrew, they have a coach we don't already hate. Hooray! Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to Saints Happy Hour Podcast. Yeah, we're that podcast that wins awards.
Go.
Oh my god.
He looks like Ash from the end of Alien.
Usually, Dave, I can just open my throat and it's down.
Now grab a drink and enjoy the show.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour Podcast. As always, we are presented to you by Hard-Eyed Poncha Tula Strawberry Whiskey. I'm Ralph Mulbro. I got Andrew with me. I got Thomas running the show back in Poland. Dave is going to be here when he gets here. So I want to thank everybody in the chat. Everybody, Andrew, they're excited about the coaching hire that happened today. I see Jerry, I see your boy Allen, I see Wickerman, I see Fresno, I see Jason Champagne, I see Aldo Marino, I see Fresno State, I see CK, I see Ivy. Thanks, everybody. Too many to mention.
That would be Fresno Saint, not Fresno State.
Sorry, I already messed it up. We're off to a rip roaring. We're off to a rip roaring start already.
By the way, that intro, Thomas, having slow motion, that stuff leaking out of Ralph's mouth was the most disgusting thing I've ever
seen. Thomas, that's a A+ open. Then if you discuss it,
makes me almost want to vomit.
So on tonight's show, Kellen Moore, officially official. Did Mickey Loomis Forrest Gump his way into success again? We got thoughts on the Super Bowl, and we'll answer some questions. As always, if we reach $100 in donations, I will drink something horrible the patrons have sent me. This week, we got Thomas. We got pink Whitney lemonade. That's pretty standard stuff. But this, Andrew, I don't even know. It doesn't. It's an Italian. And it doesn't have
Italian
or alcohol by volume. It's called Fernet Branca. Fernet Branca. I'm
gonna look this up. I'm gonna be the Kevin of the show right now.
No idea what that is. So it might be disgusting.
All right, Fernet Branca is a bitter, aromatic Italian herbal liqueur.
Oh God,
That's potential. It is 39% alcohol by volume.
Jesus.
So it's 78 proof. It's not awful, but yeah, it's strong.
Remember,
it has this is interesting. It has 40 herbs, roots, and spices in a grape-based cocktail, including myrrh, rhubarb, chamomile, cardamom, aloe, and saffron. My God.
Damn, Dave's here.
God. That is disgusting.
I mean, donate now. That's I don't know. Who got you that? Did someone send you that?
Yeah, someone did. I think actually I think that was Who Dat Golfer. That was in his care package. And by the way, if we reach 2 years of consecutive weeks donation streak, I will do Only Hands, where I open an OnlyFans account where it is tastefully done pictures of my crippled hand. Thomas, how many more weeks do we have to go?
26 weeks to go. As you can see on the screen, we are on a 78-week donation streak, but no new donations yet this show.
By the way, I broke out the good stuff tonight. I'm drinking a little Chateauneuf du Pape, a little red wine. Opened a good bottle to celebrate the Kellen Moore news.
Yeah, it's nice.
By the way, I just want to point out as Dave hops on here. Hello, Dave. Happy birthday to your daughter. We were the first podcast to launch. It's almost like we knew it was happening.
That's right.
But I just want to point that out that we posted that. It was instantaneous.
It was instantaneous. It was ready to go.
We had inside scoop.
Inside scoop. Is Dave set up? I can't see my thing is all messed up.
I'm set up. I'm really annoyed and pissed off. I've got all kinds of internet issues. This whole thing could collapse in a second.
Don't move, Ralph.
Who knows?
Yeah, your connection. You sound like Winston Churchill in 1941, Dave.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So maybe it'll get better. Maybe it might get worse. We don't know.
So here's the thing, Dave. You're our resident Mickey Loomis. I don't know. I wouldn't. Hater is too strong a word, but you know.
No. Don't put that out there. I have no, I am not. I am neutral on Mickey Loomis. I am absolutely neutral on Mickey Loomis.
Goalpost moved.
Yeah, he you were the one that broke the news that Kai Harley was going to replace.
I thought you were a Kai Harley stan, man. Come on.
But here's my question, Dave. Here's my question. Did Mickey Loomis, did he Forrest Gump his way to success yet again?
Yes.
Because I feel like if Kellen Moore, like, he'd be more popular of a candidate if other teams still had openings. Like they'd be like, we got to get the Eagles offensive coordinator. He just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, he did. Wait a minute. Did we switch sides? Was I on the other side?
I'm trying to get in the middle of this.
Don't move, guys. Don't move. Chill out.
No, I liked being on the other side. Put it back. It was better because
No, don't change it now. You keep messing me up. Like, we're good.
Oh my God. Anyway, no, look, I listened to you guys. I listened to the podcast you guys posted the other day about the Kellen Moore breaking news. You guys broke the news. I'm going to give you guys credit. You guys were the first to report that Kellen Moore was going to be the coach of the New Orleans Saints. And Andrew said it like in our text, like it's a great point. Yes,
I actually kind of love it that Dave Andrew makes a good point and then shuts it down. I mean, like, is there anything more to say, really? Like,
like if Kellen Moore, if Kellen Moore had not been in the Super Bowl and had been available earlier, he probably would have been taken by another team, and he would have been a higher rated commodity, and he would have been out of our league, so to say. And the fact that he was forced to continue to coach and not take a job with any other team, and the entire coaching hiring cycle pretty much played itself out, and the Saints were just left. They were the last ones left, and it just so happens they happen to land themselves a big one. Patience was key here. Sometimes the early bird doesn't get the worm. That's bullshit. Okay, don't let anybody tell you that. And now that is, of course. This is all assuming that Kellen Moore is the next up and coming young offensive genius. That we're all saying that. No, this could be a total disaster that blows up in the face.
But here's the thing about that. Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, well, here we go with the Kellen Moore pumping. Like, yeah. Like, they just scored 40 points. They just blew up the Chiefs defense, a top 5 defense. Like, yeah, I'm going to pump it up. I'm going to take my wins while I can, because I don't know how many wins we're going to get once the season comes around. Right. So I'm definitely taking the victory laps now. And look, I think there is some truth. Like, would he have leapfrogged Vrabel? Would he have leapfrogged Johnson? I don't know about Johnson as the most like appealing candidate. Like, we'll never know, right? And I think to some extent, the guys that come in to the interview process, like, I think too much is made out of what happens in the playoffs, right? Like Aaron Glenn, the Lions, they got blown up in the playoffs defensively. Like, Aaron Glenn didn't become a bad defensive coordinator overnight. That didn't cost him a job. So I think too much is made of this. But if there was ever a time where a couple games could elevate a guy's status, it would be blowing up the Washington defense in the NFC Championship, and then blowing up, which granted, like, their defense isn't that great, but then going into the Super Bowl, blowing up the Chiefs, back-to-back games where his offense hasn't looked better all season. And they've been great all year, but they were hitting their prime in the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl. Like, if there was anything that was going to elevate a candidate's resume, that was it.
I mean, Jacksonville and the Raiders would have gone a lot harder after Kellen Moore off of the Super Bowl than they did. Like, Jacksonville drunk stumbled their way into Duval guy. So, like, I think the Saints were really lucky. But to your point, Andrew, and Dave, you can chime in too. I feel like this hire smashed every Saints Twitter X, Instagram, Facebook talking point against Mickey Loomis. It smashed him to bits, every single one of them. You can go through them if you want, or I can just list them. But like this hire disproved all of it. That the Saints job, no one wanted it. Kellen Moore wanted it.
No one wants it. They'll only take it if Mickey Loomis is out. Mickey Loomis is only going to go with someone he knows and is familiar with.
Deception! Shut up, Dave. Kellen Moore is already a top 5 all-time Saints coach.
Damn, Saints Robin, 28.3 interception.
I think Ralph it was either on the mailbag or on the show last week. I said he already was. I already said that.
Yeah. Well,
we went through it. We went through the top 5. It was Sean Payton. Who else was up there?
Mora, Hazlitt,
Rizzi, and then
Kellen Moore. Phillips. So all Kellen Moore has to do is clog one toilet and beat the Falcons, and he's top 5.
Right.
Yeah. He's also already won more. What was it? More games in the Superdome than
Dennis Allen did.
CK Ambrose in the chat does ask, what if Moore came into the presser and said "Houday" instead of "Houdat"? If I have to say, if he does that, then we're in Duval. We're in Duval territory.
That might be worse because that would be
worse.
Yeah, that's mispronouncing it.
At least he didn't say Duval incorrectly. It was just terrible and embarrassing.
Yeah, right.
That would be like going "Who dat?" It would just that was a delivery thing. But if he says "Houday" like that would be worse. I'm with you.
Yeah. Here's the thing about this hire that it just makes me think today, Dave, is if you like being miserable about everything the Saints do, it's a choice. Like if you want to be miserable today and you want to tell me, oh, they're not bringing Saquon, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. Like that is a
wait, they're not bringing Saquon?
Yeah, they're not. He's not.
I'm out.
He is bringing Doug Nussmeier. He is bringing Nussmeier, the LSU quarterback.
Yeah, hopefully it's nothing like his quarterbacking history with the Saints. But
he won a Grey Cup though, like Doug Nussmeier, I think, like as a coach or a quarterback. I don't know. So they got that going for him.
Did you guys see the Dan Orlovsky rumor at quarterback coach? That would be crazy.
It would be crazy, but. Here's the thing, Dave, and I said this on Twitter, and this is my next talking point. You had been saying that I used to say that the Saints, the salary cap, we were going to defeat the nerds, and you have always said the nerds defeated us. But here's my question, Dave. Now that the nerds have defeated the Saints, are we going to turn to the nerds and are they going to save us? We got Kellen Moore, football nerd / dork, Dan Orlovsky, big nerd, big analytics guy. Are the Saints going to go full football nerd to save us now?
That's certainly a possibility, and I think I welcome that. I think
Brandon Staley, huge football dork, analytics guy, go for it on 4th down every time, never punt.
I think I like it. I think, especially coming from a regime where stretching was optional. I think I like it. I think I'm all for it. Let's bring them on. Bring on the nerds. Especially, are we bringing on any new cap nerds? Are we bringing on any new people that can do maybe a better job of manipulating our salary cap? That would help. Are we bringing on any draft nerds, recruiting nerds that can, find good talent in the draft?
Deception! Nerds.
We gotta go for thanks man for the 20 buckaroo super chat. We are halfway there, guys. Let me update.
Thank you, guys. Before we get on with the nerds, I want to tell people Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is a strawberry flavored whiskey blended with aged wheat whiskey, American light whiskey, Cocktail and Sons strawberry lemon syrup, fresh strawberries from Jonesdale Farm in Ponchatoula, Louisiana. It's 86 proof. The whiskey is blended and bottled at the Sugarfield Distillery in Gonzales, Louisiana. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a bottle, to get a location, To find the location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Hardhide Strawberry Whiskey is supporting Saints Happy Hour all football season long. So support the people who support the show. Grab a bottle of Hardhide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey today. It's amazing. It's delicious. I've been drinking a lot of it.
Sorry, Ralph, I want to give a quick shout out. I don't know if you guys have seen this in the Discord. I want to give a quick shout out to Nikolai, who, by the way, makes a delicious beer. But Nikolai, he posted a graph in our Discord, and he said, that we need to get the nomenclature right. That Moore isn't a dork, and it kind of has like the intelligence, dweeb, social ineptitude bubbles, and dork is under social ineptitude, and nerd is under dweeb, and then you've got geek, which kind of like overlaps with intelligence and obsession. So he wanted to make sure we were calling him a geek, not a nerd or a dork.
Geek. There,
yeah,
got it.
Football geek.
Point of order from now on. Kellen Moore is a football geek. And look, I liked what you guys said. I liked what Kevin was saying. Like, that's what you want. Like, that's how these guys get to these positions. Like, I have been close to like the Tulane football team, and like there are these guys, the guys that like are watching the film on the plane ride home. Like, they're already getting into like analyzing that game and game planning for the next game, and then they go home and then they're doing it more, and then they wake up in the morning and then they go to work, and then they do like the guys that are like there are guys in the industry in college and professional football who like really eat, breathe, drink, and sleep this, and like those are the guys that honestly, you might call them a geek. Was that what we're going with? Geek. You might call them a geek.
Dork. I like dork.
But those are the guys that you want. I mean, those are the guys that are great at it. Those are the guys that know so much about it.
So, Ralph, is it possible that now that we've made this hire, so and I'm comfortable calling the Twitter people, the media people, I'm comfortable calling them nerds because they're not.
It's an interception. Who dat? Welcome, Coach Geek.
So they. I'm comfortable calling them nerds.
It's an interception!
Wow, oh, man.
It's got to be 100.
If Saints need another draft nerd, where can I spam my resume?
Archmage and Badrich taking us over the edge.
God, get that herbal
over the edge. They teamed up. They Eiffel Towered this.
Yeah.
Streak is up to 79.
Oh, this smells awful.
All right, let me finish that thought before you drink that. Okay. So, is it possible that these nerds that are always hammering us for our cap decisions, for our free agency, is it possible that we've now crossed over into a threshold where they approve of our decisions, that they're going to like Kellen Moore, and if we get Orlovsky and Brandon, is it possible that the nerds on Twitter and in the media are all of a sudden going to be like, oh, the Saints are running perfectly. It's exactly how I would do it. Is it possible that they're going to be on our side?
It's possible. They did a couple of power dunks today on the Saints. That trade that the Saints did with the Eagles, where the Saints ended up with Trevor Penning, the Eagles ended up with Jalen Carter and Cooper DeJean. Or Cooper DeJean. The two picks that they got, the two extra picks that they got from the Saints. So like,
talk about that.
Yeah. So like that, but I think it's like Andrew. I think it's if they had Orlovsky and they had Brandon Staley and they would trade down in the draft. I think the nerds, the Solax, the
interception. Double shots.
Fucking love up. The Tulane hater becoming the new MVP leader. Oh, Ralph. Wow. Do we want it mixed or one after the other though? That's the question.
I can't
one
mix
after
it.
The other.
I can't mix it, but I'll do them one after the other.
Wow. I gotta say, if it's Orlovsky and Nussmeier, I just hope they're better coaches than they were quarterbacks.
Ralph, move a bit to your left.
Nussmeier and Dan Orlovsky are two of the worst quarterbacks I have ever seen in my life in the NFL.
Here we go. This smells.
Wait a second. Let me turn on the puke meter. There was a lot of chaos.
This is disgusting.
Switch the webcam.
Wait. Hold on. Pause. You're doing both right now?
No, I'm going to do one and then the other.
Okay, start with lemonade. I want that to be the residual. I don't want you getting that taste out of your mouth.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Oh, down.
Okay, so we'll do lemonade first.
Get ready for the
Here we go.
pukeroo. Ooh.
I expect this to be delicious. Ralph's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that's great."
How quickly is he doing this? Like, is
Oh,
he doing it
yeah.
immediately?
That's like a 2. That was really
Oh,
good.
like a 2. Jesus.
Wow,
Dude,
that
I
looks
think
big.
that might be
This
the
one looks
lowest
big.
he's ever scored.
Is this Japanese or something?
It's
Italian.
It's Italian.
Oh, okay.
Fragile.
Italian.
Italian. I love that.
Fragile. All right, ready? Here we go. Oh, it smells.
By the way, are we going to do any Super Bowl talk? I got so much to talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Let him drink. Whoa, that was a long one.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, he did not like that one. Oh, he did not like that one.
Hitting him hard.
I know neither of you are a doctor, but
Any
my
doctors in the
lips-
chat?
yeah,
That's bulky.
like my lips are like tingling, burning, like really, like if they start to swell up, like do I need one of them EpiPens? Because
maybe.
It's just the herbal stuff. You're probably fine.
Yeah, it tingles. That's like an 8. It's not that bad, but it tasted like it just tasted. It just tasted like grass and like outdoors that I don't like.
What was that again? I missed the early.
Like
I was late.
Fernet
Blanc.
Oh,
Fernet Blanc.
Bronco.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Fernet Blanc.
I don't think it was. Is it Blanc? Is it BLANC? I thought it was BRA.
BRAN Bronco.
Oh, Branco. I thought it was Blanco. Damn interesting.
Yeah, something is up with my lips. That's it. So
Nice.
If he dies, you know what it means, guys.
if I die, Oppenheimer,
Mamara.
do not let Dave put any Tulane memorabilia on my coffin. Not
Stop.
So
I think it's like an after dinner drink. I think you're supposed to like sip on that.
It's disgusting. Here's a question.
It's a digestif.
Ugh.
Hold on. Let me ask ChatGPT if Fernet Bronco can make your lips.
Bronco.
numb.
Well, first of all, don't call it Bronco.
Fernet Bronca says it sounds
Hey,
like
do you have Malort for the third drink, Ralph?
It can. This is due to the presence of bitter herbs, including saffron, myrrh, and menthol or eucalyptus.
Myrrh. That's one of the myrrh. That's one of the gifts that the wise men brought.
That's right. That's right.
I've never known anything that myrrh was in, or frankincense.
Somebody in the chat, War God says, take a Benadryl.
Hey, Oppenheimer with a quick
Where's Dr. Thomas when you need him?
He's a doctor. I would listen to him. Take a Benadryl.
Sorry, guys. Oppenheimer with a quick $2 super chat said, I got you. I even delete your browser history, Ralph.
Thank you.
Hey, Ralph, do you have Malort in your house, man?
Yeah, somebody
drink, man. Malort.
Delete your browser history. They don't want the authorities finding his old searches for System Corner back.
Yeah. Yeah, Oppenheimer, and delete the browser history and the 6 System Corner T-shirts. Burn them.
Yeah. Ralph isn't worried about finding any like inappropriate nudie stuff. He's worried about all the saints stuff that
bad takes. He's like, yeah, that never happened.
Yeah, that's right.
Like my Brandon Browner jersey T-shirt, my Troy Davis jersey. Burn them all. So here's my question, Dave. With Kellen Moore, what is your biggest concern with his hire? Because we're all excited today and we're pumped, but what's your biggest concern?
I probably his age. I mean, I don't really have this concern.
The thing you wanted was a young coach.
A double-edged sword. Double-edged sword.
Unbelievable.
Moving goalposts already.
That's literally the one thing I would have said no chance Dave complains about his age. Like, no shot. Like, if there's one thing that Dave doesn't like, it can't be about age.
Only because, like...
Dave's an ageist,
unbelievable.
Only because, like, yeah, like how old is Cam Jordan? Like, he's got players that might be older than him. And again, going back to the whole Dennis Allen thing, I just worry about like whether he's going to be the kind of guy who's going to really like people are going to really listen to and respect, and somebody who's going to be that leader. But
he was the same draft class as DeMario Davis. Fun fact.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. But at the same time, like, look, the guy. It's almost the opposite of what I'm saying. Like, the guy has elevated himself to be the head, to be DeMario Davis's boss at the same age. So it's almost like, hey,
he's
you
a
gotta
young
give me some
genius.
respect. You gotta give me some respect. Like, you and I got drafted in the same class, and like, yeah, you're still playing, but I'm now your boss. I just became the head coach of your team. And in addition to that, what I was also thinking is like the fact that he's coming off of winning a Super Bowl, and he's going to be able to walk in there with a ring, and like that carries some weight. It's like, hey guys, like, I know I'm young, I just won a goddamn Super Bowl in your stadium. We beat you guys last even though my head coach really tried to give it away, and we beat you guys. So put some respect on me, and then innocent till proven guilty.
We did talk about his experience, and I really liked that. Look, I think his failure in Dallas was somewhat unfair in the sense that McCarthy, was basically saddled with him, and he kind of wanted to run his own thing, and he wanted to make a change. So he ends up getting fired from that job. Maybe not really his fault. Then he goes to a bad situation with the Chargers, kind of a coach that's on the hot seat. Staley gets fired like during the course of that season. So like, that was a mess. And obviously then he comes to the Eagles and he wins a Super Bowl. But like, I personally like that. I would say the young coaches. So like, my point here is, yes, he's young, but he's already had a lot of experiences, and he's had some failures. He's had some successes. And I just feel like, of course, ideally you would want a guy that's only had success, but I just feel like a lot of young coaches, they're a flash in the pan. Like Joe Brady's a great example, right? Like, he caught fire with LSU. He gets the Panthers job on a whim, and he's a failure there. And I just feel like a guy that's been different places, had some success and has failed. Like, I think he's grown up a lot despite his age. And it reminds me of Sean Payton. I mean, remember, Ralph, like, his play calling duties got taken away with the Giants. And that was a big talking point. I remember being I'm excited about this new young offensive mind, but like, he got his play calling duties taken away. And then when Jim Fossil did that, the Giants immediately got better. They immediately went to a Super Bowl. So like, that change, getting Sean Payton out of there calling plays, was a big win for the Giants. And I remember talking about that as like, that terrifies me about this hire. The rest is history. Obviously, it wasn't worth worrying about. But my point here is, I like that he's been multiple places. I like that he's failed. I just think that develops character, that makes you learn. You're always going to learn more from your failures than your successes.
Chad has a great question.
So, for a young guy, he's got a lot of experience. Yeah, go ahead.
Chad has a great question. Dave, does Ian Book come with more? And if Ian Book comes back, do we bring back your song?
Thank you for reminding me. Congratulations to Super Bowl champion Ian Book. Nobody is more deserved.
He's throwing rainbows.
Throwing rainbows.
Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
Yeah, I don't.
That was quick. Well done.
Yeah. No, I don't think he comes with him.
What?
I want Saquon. Or Lane Johnson. Can we get Lane Johnson?
I think they said Kellen Moore got a 6-year contract from the Saints. I think I saw that somewhere.
Wow.
So here's my question.
Wait, by the way, I didn't know. I just saw Thomas had the picture of his family coming off the PJ, the private jet. And it looks like he has kids very similar in age to mine. I'm wondering if they're going to be the newest members of I'm wondering if they're going to be the newest members of my kids' schools very soon.
Right. I'm sure they are. Or maybe he'll live on the north. Well, yeah, maybe he'll live on the North Shore. You never know.
He might.
Here's the question, and I want both of you to answer. I'm going to go with that he got a 6-year deal. So let's say he's going to survive 5 years of that deal. When he goes into the 6th year of the deal, how good does he have to be in your mind to be like, oh yeah, we gotta after year 5, like we gotta keep Kellen Moore. Like his contract's coming up. We gotta extend him. We gotta redo whatever. Like what is it? How good does he have to be the next 4 or 5 years for you to be like, oh yeah, he's a keeper. Definitely. Like how good does he have to be?
I'll go first. I'm kind of not viewing next year as like a must. I mean, I would like to see the team ascend over the course of the season, but I'm kind of assuming next year is going to be a grind. Like it's going to be a tough. Yeah, I don't even know what we're doing at quarterback. There's a few ways they could go. They could keep Carr and try to stay competitive. They could get rid of Carr and then it's probably less competitive. Yeah, so I'm not expecting anything out of year 1. Year 2, I would expect improvement over year 1. So I would expect the win total to increase by, maybe 3. And then year 3, for me to call this hire success to where I'd be like, yeah, I definitely want to keep him. Year 3 division title for sure. Make the playoffs, make a run. So I mean, I don't know. Do I need to give you year 4 or does that?
No, I mean, that makes sense.
I would want to see like an ascension like that, but year 1 to me is kind of a throwaway.
I'll co-sign all of that, and I'll even say like year 1, you could even go backward. Like you want to only win 2-3 games, like that's fine.
Yeah, like if we don't get the quarterback this year, like give Kellen Moore the 2nd overall pick next draft.
Yeah.
Like
my thing is he's got to be a little bit better than Jim Haslett. Just a little bit better.
Well, year 1 with Haslett was a playoff win.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying over the course of Jim Haslett's 5 years with the Saints, he's got to be a little bit. So Jim Haslett, his first 4 years with the Saints was 42 and 38.
I don't think you can look at it that way though, because I mean, but if he's let's look at the way that Dan Campbell built the Lions, right? Like year 1, awful. Year 2, awful. Year 3 is about to get fired. Then they go on a heater.
No, you're thinking year 2, they turned it around the second half of the year and went 9-8.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah. So I think if you looked at Dan Campbell's win-loss record through 4 years, though, it was probably similar to Haslett's because the first year was so bad. I think they won 1 game, right?
Yeah.
2 games. So it can be the same record as Haslett, but I think there's a fundamental difference between Haslett, who won the playoff game in his first year, and then kind of dropped to this 7-9, 8-8 zone for like the rest of his tenure, and that was like all he could really produce. Like I would want to see like, yes, okay, we ripped it down to the studs, but now you're seeing like this. Like to me, that's a very different 42 and 38
Dan Campbell's
than what we got.
39, 28, and 1 in 4 years with Detroit. Pretty damn good.
Yeah, that is good.
Even though he had I would say like a little bit better than Haslett. Haslett, he won a playoff game his first year. He went 9-7 one year. He went 8-8 a couple times. Like he just like I just need Kellen Moore to be a little bit better. Like instead of 1 playoff appearances, maybe you get 2. Like just a little bit better. Because I think, Dave, this rebuild that the Saints are on, like I think they're going to have a really hard time being seriously playoff competitive until like the back half of 2026. Like this is a really long process we're at, unfortunately.
Well, it makes.
Sorry to quote Loomis, but you've got to look beyond the results in year 1.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
It makes me happy to hear you say that, Ralph, because honestly, if I had to guess, I would have assumed prisoner of the moment would expect Super Bowl 2026. And so I'm glad to hear you're going to be patient and you're willing to.
I say that now, Dave. Give me a first half of his first game and they don't have a first down. And then I'll change my tune. Fire that big ass teeth.
Dave, by the way, Nicholas says that Ralph's mouth tingles from the cloves in the ferret. It's an old school anesthetic from the Middle Ages.
Oh, wow. Is that like when Braveheart, when she gave him the thing and he took it from her and he spit it out? Is that what that is? It's the cloves?
Is there any hemlock in there?
I don't want you to suffer.
I think the intent was for you to suffer, Ralph. Break it to you. Quite the opposite.
But reminder, if you donate, use the link that Thomas puts in the chat. YouTube is the mob. They take 30%, but we'll take any money you want to give us. The easier, the better. But if you take a second, use the link Thomas sends. It gives us a little bit more money.
I'll be right back.
Most people did tonight.
Pop, Dave.
I gotta give it up. Also, thanks to Wickerman for 2 $5 donations in a row, and we are less than $90 away, I think. And Oppenheimer is still in the lead, trying to make it 4 weeks in a row, winning the MVP.
Oppenheimer.
Saints Rabbit and Archimage right behind him with 28.3 donations both.
Dave, with Kellen Moore, where do you think? Here's a question, because you like me are a season ticket holder. Do you think the Kellen Moore hire is going to stave off a season ticket exodus?
I don't know. I mean, first of all, I'm a season ticket holder that actually lives in New Orleans and goes to all the games. They not like you, not like us.
Yeah. Thanks. It's true though. Can't
kidding.
fight the
you're you know what, I'm kidding, and actually in some ways maybe you're more of a fan because you actually go to at least 4 of the game, half of the home games, and to do that you have to fly back. So you do put great effort. Who is this? Wait, who just walked? Oh, that's Andrew. His son is in the background. I thought that was Andrew in the background.
Andrew's just like, I'm gonna screw this podcast. I'm gonna go play the Wii.
Well, I didn't know what he was. I didn't know what was going on back there.
I didn't swings in on the Wii.
Yeah. Thought a stranger was
that's my
some
son.
stranger like Kevin.
He decided to play some Wii baseball. I think he's playing. So,
but yeah,
anyway, so
Dave, I don't want to hear any insulting about my drink choice tonight, because tell the people what I did for you. I like you owing me favors, and maybe I'm burning my favor now. Tell the people what I did for you today.
Right, we're gonna get off topic here, but I will say I hate when you zoom in because you're seeing the look away, I'm hideous. I got my golf tournament on Thursday that I'm running for Tulane football and Coach Sumrall. That's coming up on Thursday, and Andrew texted me this morning and said, "Hey, Thomas Morstead is interested in playing if it's still available." And I said, "Well, this is last minute, but yeah, we'll work Thomas Morstead in. Yeah. We'll work him in. I'll find somebody."
Dave's like, "I guess I'll make it happen for
well, because he's got to be a celebrity, and so I gotta make sure I can find somebody who's gonna pay to play with him. I gotta make this worth my while. But anyway, So Thomas called me this morning, and we had a good chat, and our sons go to the same school, and I actually saw him a couple of days ago and almost introduced myself, but didn't because it was family time.
Here's a peek behind the curtain for everybody. Andrew is incredible at making sources, connecting with people, networking, and how he reins a lot of them in is he does things for them. He's like wow. All his he's done favors for them, and they like him, and they kind of feel obligated, so they give him information. So it works out. Andrew is of all the things that Andrew does that I can't do, like having 2 hands and all that. But the thing I would Andrew's ability to network is second to none. It's
you can Underhill incredible. Calls me Ornstein.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Well, anyway, so Thomas is going to play in our tournament as another celebrity.
That's awesome.
And
he was really excited to meet Sumrall, by the way, for what that's worth.
Oh yeah, well, I thought he had met him last year because
maybe
I thought
he's met him, but he was excited to see him. Whatever, he's a big fan.
Well, he will definitely meet him. I texted Coach Summerall today and told him that I got Thomas, and he'll be there. And he was excited, and but yeah, so I got somebody to bid for him, and
so that's locked and loaded. You got somebody.
I worked my magic. I hit the phones. Yep, I had one person that was going to pay one thing, and then I got somebody else to up it to a different price. So
wow.
When
so you started bidding more.
I did. I didn't mean to, but I did.
You were the asshole that was playing the two buddies off of each other. Like, hey, he just offered more than you. Or you
Dave, if Tulane ever wins a natty, would you get a ring for all the work you do?
Like I'm getting close. I'm not kidding. But I'm getting close. I'm getting very close. I'm getting close enough where I think I'm gonna hard. Where I think I have enough pull. Where I'm going to tell him next season, whatever away game I want to go to, you're taking me and my son. You're not saying no. But I do.
If Tulane has a boat, a hurricane hits New Orleans. Tulane has a boat. And
I don't know if I make it.
They have to start throwing people off board. Who gets thrown off first? You?
I mean, I'm not making it. Oh, probably me. Maddie's. Maddie controls information. She puts good press out there for us, and I don't
have some work to do then.
Yeah, I do. But wait, remind me after the show. I do have some other behind the scenes related stuff that actually is not even appropriate for behind the scenes, but I won't tell you guys.
I'm gonna keep it anyway. Don't worry, guys. Don't listen. Dave.
No, we can't. I'm all ticked off.
Become a patron.
I can't believe.
So that's the same. The Saints made this hire. We knew this was going to happen, but it kind of overshadows the Super Bowl because the Saints, obviously, the Kellen Moore news, even though it was like the worst kept secret in the league, and Schefter and everybody was tweeting it out Sunday. It's like it's or Saturday.
Aren't you kind of glad it played out this way because it allowed the negativity to kind of fester and build, and like it's almost like we knew this was always the way it was going down, but it allowed the noise from the outside to get louder about like how it was all going to blow up in the Saints' face, and then it didn't. Yeah. I kind of preferred it that way.
And I said like Super Bowl Sunday, like even before the game, I was like, the Saints really need the Eagles to win, and we need the Eagles to win, and we need the offense to look good. We need some hope. And people were like,
yeah,
that's going to make you feel good about Mickey Loomis and this roster if the Eagles win the game and look good on offense. I'm like, yes, it will. I need to feel good about the Saints. So it all worked out just great. But the Super Bowl as a game, listen, Dave, it really felt like a Super Bowl from my childhood where the NFC just curb stomps the AFC, and we're not even focused on the game. We're focused on the halftime show, the commercials. Like it was an old school ass stomping by the Eagles.
Dave stepped away, so
Dave stepped away.
But yeah, I agree. I just can't believe how bad Patrick Mahomes looked, man.
It was.
I was absolutely stunned and shocked that he really had no answers. He was completely disrupted that whole game. I can't believe Zach Bond, of all people, got a pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that Eagles front four is for real. I mean, we certainly experienced it when we played them. Yeah, especially when Eric McCoy went down. I mean, I felt like that Eagles front lived in our backfield.
They didn't even blitz.
They didn't even blitz, and they completely owned us. I remember like we couldn't even run the ball. Like it wasn't even worth trying.
Yeah.
So yeah, that Eagles front, we experienced it firsthand, and they absolutely owned the Chiefs. And the Chiefs, the Eagles offense is kind of what I expected. I mean, they're just like, they're really solid.
And Jalen had a great game. Other than the interception, Jalen played great. He always knows when to take off and run. Yes, Mahomes, yes, this was very uncharacteristic for Mahomes. And I think most of us were watching well into the third quarter and sitting there waiting for like the comeback to happen.
That's right.
I think even Eagles fans were, even after he threw that deep, 1st and 10, as soon as they got the ball back and they throw that deep, ridiculous touchdown, they're like, oh no, that's it. This is the start of it. Like, they're going to come back. This is our 28-3. And obviously it never happened, but this there was already a blueprint for this. Like, isn't this what
Tampa did.
The Buccaneers did.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what Tampa Bay did to Mahomes when they won the Super Bowl. So like, none of this is surprising. The two Super Bowls that Mahomes has lost, they've been lost in very similar ways, where you have a defense that brings all the front pressure with the front four and doesn't ever blitz and gets him flustered. And
the one thing to bring it back a little to the Saints that I really liked was the Eagles are up, they're dominating. And it's like, hey, let's run some clock. You don't even just run.
No, they stayed aggressive.
They were like, no.
Yeah.
You think we're going to run Barkley? No. Moore was like, no. We're running a play action bomb over your head to wrap it up. Right. And that, he doesn't have the personality of Sean Payton, but that felt like Sean Payton. That felt like exactly
I got the look I want. I'm going
do.
for it. Yeah.
Like, and I love.
If you want to be cocky in your play calling, if that's how you want to live out your arrogance, and your cockiness, go for it. That's even better.
Yeah, that's what I want. Showed some stones. A quick side note. Obviously, we spoke about the game and just how good that Eagles front four is in particular. I was just really excited and happy that, and you guys remember the last Super Bowl that was in New Orleans, the power went out. That was weird. We got a bunch of negative press for that. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I paid a lot of attention to this all week. I don't know if there was negative press that I missed.
The weather was perfect. Everything.
Yeah. It couldn't have turned out better. And the game is obviously a big part of it, but I just think New Orleans threw a great party. It was safe. They did a great job just with security. They did a great job just the week leading up to it with the media. All the media was talking about the food and just how amazing of a city it was. Everyone was happy to be there.
Well, here's the thing. I think it was interesting. I forget Aaron Nagler or whatever. He does Cheesehead TV for the Packers, but they're big enough. They went to the Super Bowl, and he was talking about how he loves New Orleans and how amazing it is. And people were like, why is it so amazing? He's like, because everything is within walking distance that you want to do. And he's like, next year at the Super Bowl, it's going to be in Santa Clara, and you're going to have to Uber 30 minutes everywhere you go, and it's going to suck. And and the media, that's why the media loves New Orleans. There's no other place like New Orleans where you can get a hotel downtown in the front and then walk everywhere. And the media loves it. And I think everybody, especially in the media, they kind of forgot that New Orleans is the best place to have the Super Bowl. And you have a bunch of young, new reporters coming in, and they're like, this is awesome. Because the Super Bowl in New Orleans hadn't had Super Bowl in 12 years, which is a long time for New Orleans. Because I mean, I don't know if y'all are like me, but I used to watch all those Super Bowl highlight films from the 60s and 70s. And up until 81, 82, I think that New Orleans had 5 of them of the first 15 or something. So New Orleans is getting the Super Bowl every 2 or 3 years. And now it doesn't because of the stadiums and stuff. But it was absolutely tremendous. But the most important thing, Dave, I think that happened during No, not Jameis Winston. Thomas, put up this picture. Put up this picture of Bill Belichick and his, I think his now fiance.
Good. I wanted to talk about.
Because
Belichick eating good, man.
He's got this. He's got
He's got larger breasts than she does.
Can you zoom in on her shirt, Thomas? Can you zoom in?
Yeah, because that shirt.
It's got the hologram. It has the hologram still on it. It's fresh out the box. It's the Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl champion shirt that never got sent out because the game got lost. That is so. I love this.
That she wore that in New Orleans, she knew her audience.
Oh yeah.
I actually I kind of
fucking kiss.
I've got to be honest. I always took her as just the bimbo that dates the old rich guy. I know nothing about her, but I judged her. But wearing that shirt in New Orleans, maybe she's incredible. Maybe she's an amazing person.
If I would have known.
Troll job.
But the thing is it's subtle. Honestly, most people, if you walk down Bourbon Street, most stupid Saints fans would look at it and probably boo her because they would just see the Falcons thing and they wouldn't realize. Yes.
I have to say, Andrew, I did not know Bill Belichick had this level of petty in him. If I would have known that he had this level of petty in him, I wouldn't have been on Rizzy Island. I'd have been on Belichick Island.
So now that begs the question. So you think he's behind this?
Bill. Yeah, you think Bill
you think Bill's behind this?
We're in New Orleans.
You don't think she has anything? Yeah.
No, I think Bill's like, put on this shirt, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you don't. No, but I mean, like, you don't think Bill. Okay, well, so here's my thing. This is what I love about this is that as somebody who's in the t-shirt business, so this really stimulates me. You know, obviously
I'm a
somebody
small
at the game,
square foot shop.
somebody at the game, because I don't even think they donate. You know, I know there's that old, you know,
to Africa,
lifestyle or whatever. Right. And I think at some point that was true, but I think now at this point, I think they actually burn them. And actually, to be quite honest with you, usually they don't even. Well, maybe for the Super Bowl, maybe they print them, but they probably don't print that many. But obviously, they printed some because they were winning and they thought they were going to win, and they printed some ahead of time. But like the point is that the fact somebody had the foresight at the game. You had to have done this at the game. Somebody had the foresight to
get the shirt,
collect one or two or however many of these shirts exist, and save them before they get thrown away or burned or donated or whatever. Because I don't think you could get this after the fact. Like,
Matt
once they leave the stadium, you ain't getting them again.
Matt has a great question, Andrew.
And it's got I think you can see the hologram tag on it, like it's official.
Yeah.
Matt has a great question. Has DA apologized for that shirt yet?
I have always said that, like, I won't even enter a bet where the possible loss of that bet is me wearing something Falcons. Like, I will not wear a Falcons thing. Like, I just never.
Look at the breasts; they're comparable. They're comparable sized breasts.
Bill is a D cup. I think it's big
setting.
He needs a man's ear.
But I think would you guys wear that shirt? I think I might.
Oh, I would frame it and put it in my house. Oh my God.
What, the champions, the Falcon shirt?
I would. Yeah. Oh my God.
Framing it in your house.
Yes, I would wear that. Yes, I would wear that.
In public, in New Orleans, wearing it.
Yes.
Oh hell.
No, that absolutely.
Yeah.
This. I understand what you're saying. Like, you're wearing the logo. Like, I would never do that.
Right.
But no, this supersedes that. This is the ultimate troll shirt.
Humor. It's so subtle. It's like thinly veiled.
Maybe we need to make some more of them, man.
For those of you guys on the live stream that see the video, if you look just like northeast of Belichick's left breast, you can kind of see the hologram. You can kind of see the hologram.
Dave, this begs the question: can you make these shirts for us?
Yeah, I think I got enough that we could duplicate, but it's not the same thing. See, that's the thing, is like, I could make a knockoff, but
that's the real
having one of the ones. There it is. That's, I mean, see, so, okay, so you know what? Now I'm thinking about this. The fact that it has the hologram sticker on it. So that would to me, that means they were pre-printed and pre-made, and they took the time to put the stickers on it.
I think
those were already printed. Those were printed before the game, I think.
I think probably some intern saw a box at the Super Bowl and was like, "I'm going to get this box, and Coach Belichick's going to love me forever."
What's in the box?
What's in the box? And he stole the box and brought it to Belichick. But that was my highlight of the Super Bowl, Dave. The commercials for the Super Bowl.
My highlight was Jameis Winston.
Not great. The halftime show. Listen, I know a lot of people were like, old white men, they don't understand what Kendrick Lamar is saying because they don't like rap and blah, blah, blah. I listen to Kendrick Lamar, and I feel like I listen to him in my car all the time, and I know what he's saying when he listens to my car. I felt like for the halftime show, I did not know what he was saying, and I listened to those songs not all the time, but a lot. And not like us, I've listened to a lot. And I couldn't understand a word. He even made a reference about something about New Orleans and no flags. And I didn't understand a word.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't hear that at all. I didn't understand a word. And I feel like I listen to Kendrick Lamar and I can understand it when it's in my car, but for the Super Bowl, I could not.
So I did love whatever. I did love whatever quote I saw on Twitter that said something about funny the white people complaining about Kendrick Lamar's not being able to understand Kendrick Lamar, but then going off and listening to Pearl Jam.
That's right. That made Kevin really mad. Made Kevin.
Oh, that's
so
pretty
mad.
good. That's pretty good.
Like, yeah. Like, fair point. Okay, you got it. You got
it. You got it. Well played.
Touche.
Anyway, I look. We got to talk about this whole Jameis thing. I mean, Jameis was, other than David Portnoy. I got to talk about David Portnoy. David Portnoy hit up all the pizza joints. He went to Tower Pizza. He went to
did he like Tower Pizza? Did he like it?
He gave.
I love Tower Pizza.
Yeah, no, Tower Pizza is actually, as a New Yorker, look, I'm very picky. Tower Pizza is okay. I will eat Tower Pizza.
About the one on Veterans, right? In Metairie?
There's only one. There's only one, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know what he gave the pizza, but he gave the interior of the Tower of Pizza. He gave it a 10 out of 10. And he said, I never give 10. We don't give 10 out of 10s on the show, but the interior of Tower of Pizza was 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So that stuck out to me. What I thought was funny is he went to Gio's Pizza, which I didn't realize was owned by the cousin of Johnny Giavotella, a former UNO baseball player who went on to play for the Angels and I think the Royals, and somebody that I know personally. And as Portnoy's walking out, he's like, "Oh yeah, Johnny Giavotella." Yeah, he's like talking about Johnny Giavotella. Oh yeah, he played for the Royals as he's walking out, and I'm like, so funny. He's talking about my buddy. And so I saw Johnny Giavotella this morning, and I said, "Oh, I saw, I heard on the," and he said, they've run out of food like the 4 days straight, like since Thursday. They've run out of food, like demand because of all this, because of the publicity that they get. Yeah, so it's great. It's great for everybody. He went to That's Amore, because they're the ones out on West Napoleon, I think. He went to a lot of Metairie places and pronounced Metairie incorrectly many times.
How did he pronounce it?
I don't know.
Metairie?
Yeah, Metairie.
Old infomercials from the 90s. Metairie, Louisiana.
I need to text Ben Mintz to slap him right now.
Yeah. Did we do a podcast since Mintz was at my school?
No, you need to tell us about that too.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't do. What day was that? This whole week has been a blur.
It's like Monday the last week Tuesday, and a half, right?
Yeah, whatever. Was it Tuesday morning? Maybe I get a text from somebody that works at Tulane for the football team, and he's like, "Hey, can Ben Mintz come by and record his show at the store?" And I'm like, "Yeah, are you kidding me? Sure, absolutely. Free publicity. Let's go." So I met him early before we even opened, and he does not require much at all. He just table and a chair, and he does it all on his laptop, and everybody will be happy to know he's on 45-second delay now, so it's fine.
Yeah, thank God for that.
But I mean, it's just
make the connection that like you're a Saints happy hour.
Yes. No, he talked. Yeah, absolutely. I said I know Andrew. He's like, oh yeah, and he was talking about all the times on radio at Shreveport or whatever. When he was up there. No, he absolutely knew that. And we also have another mutual friend in common, Jordan, that he was actually like roommates with at Ole Miss. And so, but anyway, yeah, he was great. He's a nice guy. It's funny because as soon as the camera starts and it's rolling on Twitter, he like flips the switch and he's a totally different, and he's just he's even more jovial and talkative, and like everything that all the questions he had and all the topics he came up with, like they were all off the top of his head. He didn't seem to have any notes written down or anything like that. Like he's almost like this like live streaming savant. I don't know. It's very
all that dude does is consume sports. Like
and play poker.
I know. Yeah, it's wild. Anyway, but it was a good time. He gave us a good shout out. I think I texted you guys. He was a big fan of, or he texted the photo of our hot, sexy Green Wave mom shirt, and the guys at Barstool Sports were like, "Oh, you have to buy that and get that or whatever." So I gave it to him, and he was like, "Oh no, we need a picture with it." So he took a picture with it, and then he wore it the rest of the day. He went on campus to Tulane's athletic facility. He went and met with Coach Sumrall. He got a picture with Coach Sumrall in the
Amazing.
"Never Dreamed I'd Be a Sexy Green Wave Mom" shirt. And then like the next morning, I got an order for one of those shirts, and in the notes section, they're like, "Saw the shirt on Mintz waking up with Mincy 25. Just thought it was so funny. Had to buy one for my wife. We're expecting our second Tulane fan."
There you go.
I feel like I have to tell this story real quick about Mintz. So I think I've said it before on the show probably, but for the people in the chat right now, I'll give you the quick synopsis. So Mincy was a guy in Shreveport that was doing. Are we about to have a donation update? No, okay, we're good.
We can do a quick one. Another two straight $5 donation from the Wicker Man. Thanks, man.
How close are we to Malort for Ralph? Just curious.
Oh, and another one, Wicker Man. We are less than $80.
$80.
Saints should hire a new coach every week.
Yep, agreed. So Mintz, I'll keep this quick because we want to talk about other stuff. But Mintz was a ESPN radio guy in Shreveport. Mm-hmm. And I think he discovered me through Saints Happy Hour, but he had me on a show once a week. And he was an old high school tennis player. He's a big music guy, loves Widespread Panic. So like we would connect before I would go on air. We would talk about tennis. We'd talk about Widespread Panic. We'd talk about this stuff. So we became friends just shooting the bull before the show. And I was on his show weekly for like a couple years. And then he abruptly, like, I can't remember if it was during COVID. I don't know. But like had staff. He didn't do anything wrong. They just had staffing cuts. He gets let go. And so then months after that, he's like, "Hey, Andrew, like, I have this YouTube channel. Like, I have 7 followers. Like, it's not going well, but like, I'm trying to get it going. Like, will you come on my show as a guest?" And I was like, "Of course, man, anything for you." So I go on his show. And at the time, like, I think he probably had like 80 views, which was better than his best show ever, which before was like 7 views. Right. So, I mean, he's like at the bottom. And then he goes to an Ole Miss game. And everyone knows the story probably, but his buddy shoots him going nuts as Ole Miss wins the game on the final play. The video goes viral. Somehow Dave Portnoy sees it, and he's like, "Hey," the next day he gets a phone call, and he's like, "Hey, I want to hire you to go to Barstool," and the rest is history. So like it really is an incredible story of someone who was like lost his job down in the dumps and has now risen to what he is today. And it's just the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's professional.
I'm like so pumped for him.
Yeah, no, and I mean, like, he's professional. Like, obviously, he's got his show every morning, and like, he does it every morning. And like I said, he shows up, and he's very good when that camera is rolling and everything's going. Like, he's very good at it. Not everybody can just talk for 45 minutes or an hour, and or engage people and engage another person.
And it's hard when it's just like, I mean, we have the 3 of us or the 4 of us sometimes. So it's harder when it's just you. You know, I mean, I know he has guests. We need to have Mitzi back. We need to have him back on.
He'll come anytime.
So,
yeah, we can easily get him.
The Super Bowl, it set records for like, it's the highest viewed Super Bowl ever when you combine everything.
Here's a little inside baseball. I heard that Caesars, they had like a record drop on table games.
Jesus.
Oh, Andrew wants you to drink.
Andre George, $50 donation. Oppenheimer said he's gonna match it, so you know.
Oh shit!
Jesus.
I heard. So I heard Caesars had like a record drop on table games, like Thursday night or Friday night or whatever.
So as soon as the
go get the Morlort. Go get the Morlort.
I'll go get it. I'll be back.
We'll fill the dead air. You go get your Malort. Yep.
Well, let's talk about Jameis. Like, Jameis was all over the place.
I think you only need to do 30, right? Is that all he needs?
He said he was going to match you.
Well, he doesn't need to match it. He just needs to hit the.
No, he needs to match. No, he needs to match it. He's a man. Oppenheimer's a man of his word. Man of his word. And I know he would. I wouldn't know he wouldn't go back.
$30. That's all you need, right? Thomas.
Yeah. Let me update the thing. When you super chat, I have to do it manually.
I felt like Jameis was everywhere last week. He was all over all of my social media feeds, acting a fool everywhere he went. The yacht, the pedicab, there it is, Wicker Man, another $5. He was at the bar, the old bar, which with the purple drank. He was just a wackadoo, and as entertaining as he is, I'm just gonna go out and say it. That's only $30.
Tulane is a clown. College Dave.
Oppenheimer! Malort time!
We're good, Ralph.
Malort.
I hate Malort.
We're clear for takeoff, man.
We know. That's the point.
Almost.
Go ahead and give it a 9 right now. You can go ahead and put that on the puke meter.
Maybe it'll make my lips stop tingling.
That's still going?
It'll numb it.
It's still going.
Wow. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, Wicker Man, I'll give you what you want, but I'm not with you on this, Dave. I find Jameis Winston really annoying.
You hate.
I mean, I get it, but that's the thing. Like, he's never going to be a starting quarterback. Like, a starting quarterback wouldn't act like that. Like, there is no starting quarterback in the NFL who is successful who would act like that. And so, that's fine. Like, you can be who you want to be, and you could be like that. But that's just you're never gonna get it.
Andrew.
It's not that I hate him. He's a good person. He's not Deshaun Watson. He's not Justin Tucker. Like, he's not a menace to society. But I know everyone's protect Jameis at all costs. He's a national treasure. I get that he's always positive and
he's goofy. It's a goofball.
I just can't stand
He's a goofball. But I don't know any goofballs that have won the Super Bowl.
I find him so annoying.
Here's a question, Andrew. Think about it while I'm doing the Malort. Who do you hate more? Jameis Winston or Baker Mayfield? You think about that.
Baker Mayfield, final answer. Yeah. Yes. Worth every penny.
You need to get the bucket.
Hey, Sally, I need assistance.
You need the bucket.
Sally's mad at me. She's not going to give me assistance. She'll just watch me die.
What'd you do?
Just general Ralphness.
So you're giving that a 9, right?
General Ralphness. I like that.
Just not.
That's one step below Colonel Ralphness, right?
Yeah. Ugh. God.
It's a dad joke for you guys.
Ooh. The Lord is just it's the worst. It's the worst. And the thing is,
and yet you seem to own a lot of them.
It keeps getting sent.
There seems to be a lot of Malort in your
at the live show. I forget. I think it was Ambush.
Yeah, somebody gave you a 6-pack.
No, he gave me 2 6-packs of it.
Of 2 of them. Oh, great. Well stocked.
Shout out Ambush.
How much Malort do you have left?
I think 2 or 3.
All right, there's your call to action, folks.
How much are we till the next Malort?
Jesus. If I can find it.
I guess 90.
Are we supposed to be doing a mailbag after this?
I wasn't sure if we were going to, but now Dave wants to do one because he knows I'm ripped. We're going to preview that bitch, and I'm going to be drunk as fuck.
If we are, let's go. Let's hurry this. Now let's hurry this shit along.
Yeah. Nikolai wants to know. My wife wants to send. If you need to send me more Malort, send it. Just send it.
My wife.
Y'all love it when we drink it. I drink it, so we'll do it. Any other thoughts on the Super Bowl? I mean, it was all right. I mean, as far as
the game kind of sucked.
It was boring. It was lame.
Traffic.
It was lame. Lame. Yeah, one-way traffic.
But I was way more. I wanted the Eagles to win. I wanted the Eagles offense specifically to look good because I care about Kellen Moore. And I wanted him coming into the Saints. I wanted it to feel good. So like mission accomplished there. Honestly, I could care less. Besides that, like I kind of hate both teams. So like that wasn't important to me. Like I cared way more about how New Orleans looked, that the whole week was a success. And I feel like on the heels of this, so many media people were like, make New Orleans the Super Bowl destination every year, or keep it in a 4 or 5 year rotation. Like that's what everyone said. So like to me, that was a huge win, and that's what I was after.
Dave, is the Super Bowl less enjoyable for you ever since the Saints made it? Like, or maybe it's the no call, but I just like the Super Bowl enjoyment. I don't know that it has the same, like before the Saints made it, I always loved it and loved watching it. Now I'm just like, or maybe, you know what it is? It's the no call. Ever since the no call and I boycotted, it's not the same.
I don't know. I disagree. I mean, I love the NFL. Like to this day, as a 44-year-old man, like I still love it. So,
I mean, I think I'm fortunate enough to have attended 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime, which I think is probably 2 more than most Americans. And so I feel like so now when I watch it on TV, you know, I can kind of put myself back in that time when I was there and feel the same feelings. And so I think some of the mystique or the magic of it all is a little less for me or gone for me because I've been there. I've seen it. I mean, it's still, when you're there, it's still very, I mean, especially when I went to the Saints one, you know, when it's for a team that you are rooting for. I mean, when you're there, it's still, all the pomp and circumstance still gets your blood pumping and your hair, your goosebumps and your hair tingling. I've been to 2. I've been to the Saints one, and then I went to the one they had in 2000, the blackout game.
Oh, the blackout.
Just for shits and giggles.
I went to the Tom Brady's first Super Bowl win.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I was in the end zone that Aaron Vinatieri kicked the field goal.
That was in New Orleans.
Yeah, I worked it.
The only Super Bowl
ever went that was what, 2000, 2001?
Was 90. I can't remember the year, but it was Packers. It was the Desmond Howard MVP.
Packers Patriots.
Patriots.
That was 97.
97. Yeah.
Saints was the one I went to was 2002. It was the year after
2001 season.
Yeah.
So anyway, so like if you're there, it's always, anytime you ever go to a Super Bowl, it's always going to be it's going to be an experience and magical. But having been to a Super Bowl and then watching it on TV, you know, you can kind of put yourself back to when you've been there and be like, okay, I get it. I know. I know how it feels to be there. I know what that's like, or this is like, and so some of that mystique or magic, maybe when you're watching it on TV, is gone. I sent Thomas a picture. My buddy Joe bought a ticket a couple of days out from the Super Bowl and just decided to go because he loves to go, and he took this picture himself walking into the Super Bowl. You recognize him?
Is that Messi?
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, he looks.
Dude he was just walking in with everybody else in the regular crowd.
See, that's what I want to go to the Super Bowl. I'd want to be like, have access to like the suite level and see, because they had like huge. So I was like,
you want the Glazer Club?
I have. Yeah. My friend sent me pictures. Oh, I have. All right. My friend sent me pictures.
He's lost some weight. I wish he had done that at PSG, but okay, never mind.
Oh, shots fired.
PSG looked great today, by the way.
Yeah, Ralph. They did. By the way, Man City, they lost to Everton legend Carlos Ancelotti.
Man City, can you think of an NFL comparison to a team that chokes harder than Man City?
In the Champions League?
Yeah.
They're the Buffalo Bills. But they won, so they're not quite the Bills. But they're you know what they are? Man City is like, they're like the Denver.
Are they the Saints? Are they the Saints?
No, because they
Saints won once, but normally they absolutely collapse in the playoffs in the most.
That's it. Yes, ways. They are. They're the Saints. Yeah. They are the Saints of Champions League. They've got the one. They got the one, and every other time it's hilarity in a collapse that you don't think is possible, and then it happens, and they're like, that could never happen again, and it happens again.
That's PSG is the Bills.
PSG, the PSG.
We are way off topic. I sent Thomas some more photos of my buddy. He was in the
Tulane talk.
Yeah, it says they only let people with 2 arms into the Super Bowl. That's not true. I've been to one.
No, they have a whole. America is very DEI friendly right now.
Yeah. So I have a quick question for both of you. So I think we're all on the same page that. Well, actually, I have a 2-part question.
Here we go.
So
add another hour.
Kellen Moore, yeah, exactly. Kellen Moore is about to inherit this team. So the first thing I would ask is yes or no. Do you keep Derek Carr? Do you keep Derek Carr, or do you go behind door number 2? I don't need to know what door number 2 is, but just keep Derek Carr or get a different quarterback next season. And it sounds like we're on the same page about like next year is going to be a rebuild. But what do you need to see out of the Saints next year to feel good about Derek Carr, about Kellen Moore? Like, what's the one thing that you would?
I don't need to see. I don't need to see anything. He can do whatever the hell he wants. He gets free reign. He can make whatever mistakes he wants. He can make whatever mistakes he wants. He gets total 100% free pass.
Wow.
Okay. But I'll say this. I also
about that. You don't give a shit about next year.
I don't, but I also feel like this. I feel like the worse you do next year, the better you have to do the year after that. Like, I'll let you go as bad as you want next year, but second year, then that means you got to amp it up. So if you want to win 4 games next year, then just give me 8 games. The next, like, you got to give me double. I don't know, but like, yeah, if you're gonna screw up big time, then
before you go, Ralph, answer the Carr question, Dave.
Yes want.
No?
Hold on.
Wait, what's the talk? What's the talk? Well, I'm sorry. What was the talk?
Keep Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, yes or no?
I want
no?
for next season. No.
Yes.
No.
Here's the reason why.
Yeah,
here's the reason why.
Now you go, Ralph.
I keep Derek Carr.
He says yes.
Yes, because here's the thing. I think the Saints defense is going to be so unspeakably bad that even keeping Derek Carr won't mean that they're going to win 6-7 games. It just will make them watchable on offense and could potentially be fun. I think even with Derek Carr, they're probably only going to be a 4 or 5 win team. And here's the thing, like, if the cap goes up, which I think it will, even above what people think it is, just if you could just leave Derek Carr's contract alone, just keep him for a year, still go win 4 games, 5 maybe, but at least you'll be watchable on offense, and we can kind of see maybe Kellen Moore start to input his offense, and we can be like, oh, this is cool, this will work. And maybe you get Arch next year or whatever. But like, I need the product on Sunday to be watchable. I need to be excited about, if we have Derek Carr, we can get it to Rashid Shaheed. Maybe Olave can turn it around. I need it to be at least watchable on one side of the ball, because I'm pretty damn sure the defense is going to be an atrocity.
Okay, so you want to keep Carr, and
yes.
What do you need to see out of this team to make you feel good? Are you with Dave that like it can be whatever? Like you actually don't care how it looks in year 1?
I don't care how
I don't agree with that personally.
It's not about how it looks, but what I want is I want us to be at the end of the year. I want us to be arguing over, like, the Saints draft 8, 9, 10 guys in the draft. And I want us to be arguing over all these young players that are playing. And we're arguing over, is he any good? We drafted this guard and he played every game, but he kind of sucked. Do we need to get another guard? Do we need to get another, and all these young players, we're arguing about them and they've played a ton. That's what I want. I want their draft to be a bunch of dudes, and I want all their rookies to be playing and us arguing about it at the end of the year. The record and all that doesn't really matter.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Because I like that. Enough good players that we're arguing about whether that's a position that needs to be touched or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, like, our good players are Fuaga, Brissy, and Alontae Taylor. Like, it's not that exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good answer. I like that.
Yeah. So speaking of questions, the Saints Happy Hour viewer questions are brought to you by Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. You can pick up a bottle. It's hitting me hard. Wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. I'm currently drinking it all. It goes amazing with almost anything.
Is that a Pelican House glass?
No, it is a LSU 2019 national championship.
Got it.
Go Tigers.
So that's right. Thomas, hit it, take it to the top so I can give him finger guns. What's first up, Thomas?
All right, first up, first question. So many questions, by the way, this week. I liked it. So many amazing questions. First question from Ali Marino. He asked us 3. I saved 2 for the mailbag after. Patron-only mailbag. Ali Marino asks...
What is this?
What is what?
What? I pre-read the question, and I'm already questioning. What?
Damn, that fast?
What beef do I have? Well,
can I read the question, for fuck's sake? Come on, man. Hold your horses, man. The fucking these Tulane guys, man. Oppenheimer, straighten this bitch up. Come on. Ali Marino asks, should we get Kendrick Lamar to help Dave in his beef with Loomis? And who could we get to dance all over Loomis like Serena did on Drake?
What beef do I have with Loomis? Well, why am I the one that's pegged to have beef?
I mean, Thomas, I've specifically gone out of my way, I thought, to not have beef with Loomis. Do you have the clip, Thomas? Could you play it? I mean, everybody knows the beef that Dave has.
Well, I have it somewhere, but it's gonna take a while to
what
find it.
What are we talking about?
Somebody just made that up. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I mean, like with deep fake and AI, I'm thinking yes. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
But I think he plays dumb. All right.
No. I honestly, I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about specifically, but I am sure that you could dig deep into the realms and find something. I'm sure it's not that difficult.
I can't believe if we would have known this, Thomas would have had it at the ready, and we could fire it off. Like Dave is just.
Yeah, I forgot how I named it. Shit.
I'm trying to be political, guys. You know.
But here's my question: if Andrew, if we have somebody dance on Dave's grave, we like Serena did. We got to have them local. They got to be New Orleans local. So who would it be?
They're dancing on my grave?
Yeah, so like Chris Owens.
No, they're dancing on Loomis's grave. Okay, hold on. It's dancing on Loomis's grave, not my grave.
Yeah. So all over Loomis, we need somebody local. I don't know who you would. You would.
I think the answer is Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. That's the answer. That's it. All right, Tom.
By the way, I didn't get to talk about the halftime show, but as a tennis fan, Serena Williams' cameo was fantastic.
The halftime show had a lot of cool stuff, but it didn't. It wasn't Samuel Jackson, Serena Williams, the flag. It had a bunch of cool stuff, but it didn't quite land, and I don't know exactly why. But it wasn't an A+. It was like a B+ show. It wasn't like an all-time great Super Bowl halftime show, in my opinion. What's next, Thomas?
All right, final questions from Illinois. This show is pretty long, so
it is. We'll get to all the questions in the mailbag, though. I'm totally drunk. So.
Illinois asks, do you like the hire more or less due to the fact that he's never been employed on airline drive before?
More. I've said this from day one. Yeah. I've wanted somebody from outside.
But wait, I was told that Mickey Loomis only hires what he knows. I don't get it. I don't understand.
I have to say, I was not 100%, like 100% sold on the hire. Then Skip Bayless came out today and like ripped the hire to shreds. with his
that's
like.
When you knew. That's when you knew you had your heart.
Yeah, and the thing is, with
what
Skip
did Bayless have to say? What did he say?
He's just like
he wasn't qualified.
He wasn't qualified. He looks like an IT.
He's
director.
riding on the back of Saquon Barkley and
like Skip Bayless. He doesn't have a show anymore, and he does like a podcast, but he wears all black, so his head looks like it's not connected to his body, and he
doesn't even have a show, and you're still somehow consuming his stuff. What's going on? Why?
Because I'm on Twitter 10 hours a day. Dave.
Jesus, you're like Ben Mintz light.
I am.
Jesus.
He's Ben Mintz without.
No wonder you're mad. No wonder your wife is mad at you.
She's my wife.
Yeah, I would agree that. Skip Bayless hating on Moore makes me like it even more. And
it's like George Costanza hating it.
Yeah, I mean, I would expand on that just to say that, like, it was really important to move on from Sean Payton. And we really haven't done that. Honestly, I don't think, I think hiring Rizzi would have been an extension of Peyton. Yeah, hiring Aaron Glenn would have been an extension of Peyton. So I think things went so bad with DA, and the relationship with the fan base has gotten so bad that like it had to be new blood, a new direction, a new philosophy. So it had to be this way.
Yeah, it's better, but I'm excited for I'm excited for.
I don't know that it's necessarily better. It just had to be different.
Yeah. And the thing is, the whole process, the only thing that was annoying is like everyone in the world freaking knew as soon as that plane went to Philadelphia during Super Bowl bye week, it was Kellen Moore. Like they weren't flying to Philadelphia and coming back and being like, nah, he's not the guy. Like that couldn't happen. That would have embarrassed the Saints. And it was the media was annoying over this, but I guess the Saints were like
so desperate.
No, I guess the Saints were like trying to button it up because they didn't want to lose draft picks. So maybe it's not. But anyway, guys, thanks for the questions. Me and Dave will get to more of the questions in the mailbag for patrons only. Send your questions. We'll get to them all when we can. Thanks for sending them in. Thomas, give us a recap of everybody that donated. The list tonight is long.
I mean, it's not super long, but we had tons of donations, tons of support. Thanks, guys. We are on, as you can see, we are on a 79-week streak. Only 25 weeks ago from Ralph opening an OnlyHands account on OnlyFans. Thanks to...
I really can't wait to see this.
Yeah.
You got to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks to Budrich.
I think you're going to want to keep up with it.
Thanks to Budrich, to Archmage, to Saints Rabbit, to the Wicker Man, to Andrew, and for the 4th time in a row,
Jesus.
the MVP with more than $100. Who is?
Oppenheimer.
The one only Tulane hater, Oppenheimer. Congratulations. By the way, I think the record is 5 weeks in a row, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you would know. You keep track of all this stuff.
Yes.
Where's the other guy that we used to have, or a girl? I don't really know or what they were, but
Cajun
we used to have somebody. Yes. Where's Cajun Sam?
Hatchet John.
Oh, Hatchet John. No, Hatchet John. Yeah. Where I never see any of these three people in the same room at the same time.
They're all really.
He was here, I think, like a month ago, and he said he has to work when we have the show or something like that.
Oppenheimer, I mean, it's your board, but DM Thomas, and you can write on the whiteboard what you want. We still have Dave Bleeds Purple and Gold under all that.
I think he wants to just leave that up there. That's why he's waiting.
He wants it to last forever. So thanks everybody for donating. But by the way, random Saint of the week this week, in honor of Zach Bond. Saint player who wasn't that good with the Saints, went on to great things with the Eagles.
Rob Ninkovich.
No, I was going to give even more obscure than that. Barry Word. Saints running back.
I do not know.
He was running back for the Saints. Wasn't any good for the Saints.
Word?
Was a 1,000-yard running back
Barry
for the
Word,
Chiefs. Yeah. He was a 1,000-yard running back for the Chiefs in 1990.
Yep. I remember.
Random Saint.
He shared a backfield with Christian Okoye.
That's right.
With the Chiefs.
They were both gigantic.
Yep.
So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the show and we made you laugh, consider supporting the show by going to patreon.com/SaintsHappyHour. I forgot to mention, we are celebrating Kellen Moore becoming Saints coach. We are giving away 75 2-month subscriptions, courtesy of Hard Hide, Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. Click on the link in the description. If you're listening to the show, you can come join our amazing community. You should do it. Give us a shot. Every little bit helps make the show a little bit better. And don't forget to follow us on socials, wherever you get your podcast. Thanks to Dave, Andrew, Thomas, the best producer on earth, running the show back in Poland. I am completely and utterly shit-faced. Until next time, the bar is closed.